Hey gorgeous people, let's get right into it. So I'm starting a new segment on my channel called Sip and Chat, and Sip and Chat is here just to bring you great information in a fun, chill type of way. So today, as you see, we have our wines that we're going to be drinking, and so make sure you go ahead and grab you something to drink and let's sip and chat. Today I have my cousin and best friend Nayshell here today. You more than likely will hear me refer to her as Nate throughout the video just because that's just what I call her. And some of y'all might recognize her from my Miami video on my birthday trip. So we went down to Miami, had an amazing time, and that was actually her first time traveling, or flying I should say. And so if y'all haven't checked out that video, make sure y'all check it out at the end. So today we are sipping on some Pinot Grigio that I purchased. And what did you bring for us today?
You know what? I actually do not know. Someone bought this for me.
Looked like it came from Cooper Hawk, which is one of our restaurants here in Cleveland. And they have like a nice wine cellar. And you have they have the option to be part of their wine club. So we do have that. And we're going to be talking about first time traveling. Alright, so we're gonna start with the Pinot Grigio first. Cheers to a great show.
Not bad.
I'm gonna say it's alright.
Not bad.
I don't know if I purchased it again. Actually, this was a gift for me as well. So it's not bad. We'll sip on that and then we'll open the other bottle a little bit later. What else are you sipping on, ma'am?
Oh, this is just some anejo.
Oh, okay. No, name. She didn't bring me none. She brought her own supplies. Clearly.
I have more. You want some?
We'll take a moment and then I might pour me a glass. How about that?
That works for me.
All right, so let's get right into it. So, traveling on an aircraft for the very first time. When I called you and asked you like, hey, you want to go to Miami with me? We catching a flight. What was that initial thought? Like, what was the first thing that you thought about you had to do to catch the flight for the very first time?
So initially I didn't think about the flight. I was just thinking about the overall and the people that was going, and I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be a great time. So I didn't really start thinking about the flight until you just started pointing out everything that I needed to do for the flight, and I'm like, okay. So I'm just writing this long list of stuff that I need to do for the flight. But then as I got closer, I started getting nervous about the flight, and I'm like, is everything, am I gonna have everything? We going out of town? Am I gonna need something else? Is this bottle big enough or is it small enough to fit in my? So I just started thinking about all the stuff that I just wasn't aware of, that It was like, it's so complex for real. Like, why do you gotta make this so complex? But you did a good job of telling me everything that I needed to know except for one detail.
It was not my fault, y'all. Like, I explained to y'all, like, I've been a flight attendant. I've always traveled from a young age. So sometimes I don't think about like the smaller details of telling somebody what they need to do when traveling. I
think that this was one of the larger details.
Of course.
She did not tell me that I should bring a roll-on bag.
Okay, so in my defense, I do carry on all my luggage. Like, most of the time it's very rare, unless I'm going on a long extended vacation, that I take a bag that's really large and is going to be a check luggage. So my everyday roller bag, which is what I use for traveling when I was a flight attendant as well, that everyday bag is a roller bag and it's my carry-on bag. So I didn't think to tell her like a roller bag could still be considered as a carry-on. So she had a duffel bag, y'all, and her arm was on fire traveling through the airport.
I cannot.
I partially take fault for, like, y'all seen Unique in the video, y'all know she got a YouTube channel as well, but she also had a roller bag because she used to fly as well. So we didn't think to tell her to grab a roller. It was just like, bring your carry-on. And her carry-on happened to be a duffel bag. So we got to stop. She got to switch arm.
Very important detail left out. Very important.
Make sure
I'm going to point that out. Like, make sure. I don't care if your carry-on is the small bag. Make sure it has wheels.
So have your roller bag. So let's say that's the number one tip. Have your roller bag for your carry-on luggage. And you still obviously have to abide by the TSA rules, you know, the 3-ounce size bottles for your liquids and stuff like that. But so I apologize for not telling you.
First official apology.
You can bring a roller bag on. All right, so after, I guess let's talk about some of the tips or tricks and stuff that I talked to you about as far as what to pack, how to pack. Because I know one large thing for me is having some kind of toiletry bag, something you can put all of your liquids in, as far as like your toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, body sprays. Like, I like to have all that in one container. I know when we discussed it, it was like, I'm just about to put all this stuff in my purse. And I'm like, let's find you a bag. Let's find you a bag so you don't have to take all that stuff out your purse when you're going through TSA.
That was important. Like, I like, that was a really good tip. So I just use, like, I didn't use nothing fancy. I just like use like little Ziploc bag for my individual like toiletries and then my makeup and stuff, because they're gonna want to like see all that stuff, and then you don't want them opening every individual bag. So as long as it's like in like a clear Ziploc bag, I guess that would like suffice. So that was really important. But in my main carry-on bag, that's where I had like the stuff that I just need to grab real quick. And so like, not in my large duffel that I didn't have wheels on, but in my like handbag that I could keep on the plane with me, I had my important stuff like that, and just like different little Ziploc bags, nothing too fancy. Okay,
well, that's good. Make sure y'all had that too, because it's hard to like have, if you have all these 3-ounce bottles type things in like a purse or something as your carry-on, and you gotta take all this stuff out at the TSA. It's gonna take you forever to pack that stuff back into your purse. So just condense it into something. Therefore, you don't have to worry about like grabbing each piece out of the bucket and then you holding up the TSA line. Because as a traveler myself, that has to be the worst experience. Being behind somebody who holding up the line, picking up all this stuff out of this bucket, and I'm like, Lord, come on, pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. Then I want to be rude, like, excuse me, let me get my stuff. So make sure y'all have this stuff condensed into either like a Ziploc bag or some kind of traveler kit that TSA can kind of see through, essentially. They have all that information as well on their website. All right, so now that we've cleared TSA, of course, the next thing is to go to the gate, kind of familiar yourself with that area. I personally like to go to the gate first, just so I know where I'm at. Most airports, Cleveland Airport, I'm real familiar with the layout.
So when you say the gate, where is that? What do you consider that as?
So the gate would be like wherever we're boarding the plane at. Oh. So from the moment we walk through TSA, especially for a first time traveler, I would definitely recommend find the gate before you like make your bathroom stop, just in case. Sometimes like gates can change. So it might be on your boarding pass, or if you're using your cell phone with the airlines app or whatever, it'll say like gate B5 or something. But for some reason stuff can change, so if you go to the gate early, you can see like, oh, gate changed to B7. So I like to go there first, just to be aware of my surroundings, and then I'll go to the bathroom and then go to like grab something to eat. I don't eat in the airport because y'all know I'm frugal, but if I was starving, then I'll go ahead and find something to eat, but then I'll know how far the gate is and yada yada.
That's good advice. Great advice.
I would definitely do that first. So now that we are moving on to getting onto the plane, we're gonna try some of our other wine. Well, she's gonna try it first. I'm still sipping on my Pinot Grigio, so I'm still sipping on this. She's gonna try her red wine. Sorry, her red wine that she purchased.
And I did not drink that whole other cup. I just poured in another cup so I could try this one.
Cause she said this one was bitter, and it is a little bitter. I like sweet stuff.
It's no bitter. It's okay. I'm just more of a dessert wine sort of person. It's okay.
See, I really don't even like red wine because it never tastes right to me. Like, it's just not it. I prefer white wine because it's normally sweeter. Red just don't hit it for me. So now that you said it's not great, I'm gonna let you sip on that by yourself. At least I know what this is. If I finish it, then I'll try some. Yeah. And she poured me some añejo when we took a quick break. So,
which is always the safest way to go.
I don't know how true that is, but if she thinks that, then more power to her. But all right, so we are at the gate. we are waiting to get boarded. You know, they call your boarding number, your group number, and you just kind of check in and you get on a plane. With this being your first time flying, was it anything that I could have done to prepare you for what the experience was going to be when you decided to catch your first flight?
So I think that the flight was everything that I expected. The trauma behind it is just, I'm not a flyer. I'm only saying that because I'm not a flyer. I know you will go on there and that's just life for you. And I'd rather be in my truck doing 103 miles per hour on the road. And I'm
Side note, y'all, we're not doing 103. That is way beyond the speed limit. So don't take that advice.
Don't take that advice, but I do get there in a fashionable amount of time. So, but it was everything I expected it to be. Like, it wasn't awful, but it was to be as expected. I don't care for flying. And I think that's just gonna be me forever.
And that's so sad because I would love for her to travel more with me, but my destinations ain't gonna get there in no car. Like, we'll be years trying to get to next destination. Like y'all, like she said, I love traveling. I can catch a flight. Like, oh, what's the day? Like, oh, good cheap flight. I'm gone, and I ain't have no thought about it. But
don't get me wrong. I will travel. I will get on the plane to fly. Mm-hmm. I do not have a problem with it. I do not prefer that method. If I can get there in a car, I would definitely prefer that. But I have no problem with getting on the plane. I do not like it, but
you would do it.
I do love to wake up and be somewhere else, so I will get on the plane to go where I need to go.
Now, we're going to hurry her to that, y'all, because I need to go on another vacation here soon. So if she be like, I'll be like, remember when you had said on Sip and Chat that you was going to catch another flight?
And she's going to play back the video.
We're going to play it back for sure for her, y'all, because I need another vacation.
So.
All right, so now that we've landed, when it comes to traveling, I like to always check the weather so I can know what I need to pack. Y'all seen that in some of my other videos, like my cruise video where I showed y'all the weather. That helps me pack my clothes before I get there. That's my very personal option to do. However, Nate here has a different method of traveling and what that experience is like. So would you like to share that?
Yes, I would. So I've been to multiple places, like whether it's tropical, whether it's like Chicago, when I get there and the weather is always different. So it's like when you leaving from your hometown and then you land in Florida and it's all tropical and whatnot, I'm a more of a dark grays and black type of person when I'm home. Then I landed in Florida and I'm like, I just want to be bright and vibrant. Like, I just want it to be vibrant. So I would prefer to literally shop when I land. Like, I wore nothing from my bag. Nothing at all. Like, it was so much fun going to the different boutiques and shopping and getting the lime greens, which I would never ever wear. Lime greens and neon pinks and just a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't wear. So
see, this is my carefree friend. Like, this is that bestie. I'm too OCD for that. I need to know. I need a plan in place, because if I get there and then I can't find nothing to wear, I'm gonna be pissed and it's just gonna run the day. So for her to go out and literally we shopping at the local boutiques, either on, I think we was purchasing off of Collins Avenue.
Yeah.
We was over on Collins and she went into a few spots, and it was on Washington Avenue. Mm-hmm. They do have a lot of different local boutiques down in South Beach if y'all haven't been down there. Collins and Washington and Lincoln Boulevard. They have a lot of different stores, restaurants, and stuff that you can shop in. But so that's what she did her shopping at. I, on the other hand, went out my suitcase because that's not the life for me, because it will bring me way too much anxiety for sure. I can't do it.
Like, I didn't know how to really pack for that. Like, so for me, it was like I had so much dark clothes here. Mm-hmm. When I got there, it was like, I don't want to dress like this. So basically, I guess I'm asking, like, what type of advice could you have gave me to better prepare me for that weather there? Because I wasn't prepared, I feel like.
Okay. As far as preparing you for the weather, I think it's just really the culture of Miami. I guess I could have explained a little bit like what the vibe was, because the vibe in Miami is definitely different than Cleveland. Like, granted, we have our beaches, and I put it in quotations because they're man-made for sure. The sand is not great. Anywho, but the weather and the vibe in Miami is just like when you go on Ocean Drive, you got your restaurants that's out there, and you can eat on the pretty much on like the sidewalk. They have tables and set up, and it's just really blocked off the traffic, so you got this nice vibe of like the music is going, people is outside, is definitely maxi dresses. Happy. Yes, everybody is full of life. You got the water in the background, you got the sun. So like, just probably explaining more to you like what that vibe feels like in Miami. I also feel like it's kind of hard to express a vibe when you're having a conversation with somebody to tell them how to dress, besides showing somebody like, all right, well, this is what I'm gonna wear. So maybe I could have did that. I could have shown you probably a few of my different pieces that I was taking down to Miami, just because that would probably be the best way to describe it or help you understand like what the vibe is. Because telling you like, oh, I'm taking a maxi dress, you'd be like, okay.
Baby boy. I would like literally describe the vibe as being vibrant and expressive, and I'm saying that because like it was like an explosion of excitement and colors and just life. It was just lively.
Yeah, I love Miami. Like, it's always a great time when I go to the city for sure. Like, everything about it just puts you in this calm and relaxing feel. For me anyway, personally. I know some people be like, don't go to South Beach, it's touristic. I'm a tourist, so at the end of the day, that's what I'm there for. Like, but I got people who stay down in Florida, and they refuse to go over to South Beach. But that's the vibe that I like when I go to Miami.
It was definitely a nice vibe. Definitely. Love it.
I would go to Miami a couple times a year for sure.
Best trip of my life.
We had so much fun. Like, y'all definitely gotta go check out that Miami video. Granted, some stuff that didn't make it in the video, but it was a good time. We had a time that trip for sure. All right, so besides not necessarily knowing the vibe and probably what to pack, what other things would you have wanted to know before taking that flight? And would you take a flight again? Like I said, I know you said you'll take it, but all else fails, you rather just not? Or was it just that first time where it was like,
no, because I've been on a couple flights after.
Okay, so what was those experiences?
Well, the one when I called you, so I took a flight by myself shortly after the Miami trip because I had to go out of town on some business. And I just was like, I call her, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what do I do? Like, where do I go? And she's always gonna answer my phone calls. It's one of her best traits about her. She always gonna answer. And she was just like, well, do this, do that. And it was just like, it was a quick flight. And it was more, it was a little bit more comfortable to me because I knew what to expect on this one. So like I said, I'll definitely get on another flight. I do not like it, but I will get on the flight.
But did it become easier on that second flight?
Like, was definitely
it not
easier.
As anxiety driven maybe? Like, because I know you said she said we had a rough landing. I was asleep, so I can't even tell you what the landing was like, but she claimed it was really rough, terrifying, but I didn't experience that. So on your trip up to Chicago, when you took the flight, was it easier? Was it, or a better landing, better takeoff?
The landing was far less rough. Like, I don't know what the pilot was doing when we was in Miami. He was turning his little pendant, what is it?
His wings.
Because that landing was rough. So when I went to Chicago, the takeoff, it was just more, I think I was on Southwest. And where did we fly?
We flew down, I think, on Delta.
Okay.
No, I flew out Delta, so I'm sure we probably flew down on Delta to go to Miami.
I think we flew back on Southwest.
Yeah, you and Uni flew back on Southwest because they left a day before me and I stayed one extra day. But like I said, I feel like it'll get easier. You'll become... It
was definitely easier.
Used to that experience, like, because to be honest, that's my favorite part. Takeoff, I don't know. It's just like, I'm leaving. I'm up.
She's in heaven. She's in heaven.
Like, it's the best thing. As soon as the wheels is up and we reach that max altitude, I'm asleep. it's a wrap for me.
Yeah, she's in heaven. Well, when I took the flight to Chicago shortly after the one that we took to Miami, I think it also has a lot to do with the people who you flying with too.
Okay.
So I'm flying with two of my best friends. Of course, it's a nice time. I'm still got this anxiety. We holding hands because I'm a chicken, and it was cool. And then when I flew by myself to Chicago, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm flying by myself. What do I do? And I met some cool dudes. They was like, you flying by yourself? I'm like, yeah. And we just all was vibing, and it was just cool. So I think like who you flying with definitely makes a difference. Mm-hmm. Even though I was flying by myself the second time, like I met some cool dudes that I sat with, and they just made my time like
easier.
Right,
took your mind off the fact that you're actually flying. Like,
they did.
And that's the cool thing about Southwest too. Like, if you've never flown Southwest, they have no assigned seats, so it's open seating. Mm-hmm. Really a first come first served type of situation. So if you are traveling with someone, and say if you're traveling with like a family or something like that, then you can let them know, and then they'll let you guys board early or first type ordeal, so you can kind of make sure that the family is still sitting together. But for somebody like her, or hell, even if both of us was traveling together and she got on, if she had an earlier boarding group, and she got on before me, she can be sitting by herself, and then I can be sitting somewhere else. So that's the cool thing about Southwest. If you are an open person like she is, she make friends anywhere. Like, she will talk to anybody, she don't care. I don't know, then that's not my personality at all. But so that's the cool thing about Southwest. If you do really want to kind of meet and greet new people, Southwest definitely has that option because it's open seating, so you'll never know who you might sit next to. Which I do like Southwest because they also give you 2 free check bags if you've never flown Southwest. So that's a cool thing. Anything else you want to chat about when it comes to your first traveling experience? Like packing stuff, food, like any thoughts about how to book excursions or anything? Anything you want to chat about?
Yeah, so first thing I want to point out is I want you to add the clip that I had sent you with the airlines, with the 3 different airlines. That explains a lot when it comes to these airlines. You'll understand what I'm talking about if she decides to post it, because it's hilarious and it explains a lot about these different airlines.
I'll see if I can add a clip of that. I found it on Instagram actually, and I did repost it on my Instagram, Always More to See. So if you follow me there, you can see the clip. If not, I'll see if I can put like a little screen grab and definitely give kudos to the person who posted the actual video. That video is funny though.
Hilarious. So as far as like what to pack, as far as like snacks and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, because you can pack snacks. A lot of people don't know that. Like, you can take chips, gummy bears, cheese and crackers. I say gummy bears because I love gummy bears. But you can take any kind of snacks. Obviously not wine. Can't take a whole bottle as your carry-on. But you can bring snacks to travel with, and especially if you're traveling with kids or something. So you don't have to pay them exuberant price tags for chips and snacks inside of an airport store. That is definitely good to bring on for sure.
So I did bring some water. I did bring a couple crackers. It was someone on the flight with a whole meal, which made me sick to my stomach. Do not do that, people, please. It's just not okay. It makes people sick. I have motion sickness, so smelling somebody's whole crab bag is just not okay.
That's a bit excessive. Like a whole bag, a whole boiler bag?
Yeah. When we was coming back, somebody literally had a whole boiler bag on the flight. I don't know how they got it on there, but they got it on there, and I was sick to my stomach because I have motion sickness.
We might have to do a flight etiquette video, because sometimes
for sure.
I do see some people, and I be definitely side-eyeing like, come on, man, you really did that? Like, that might be a topic we need to discuss, flight etiquette for sure, because Jesus, we know it's the people out there that just get on planes and be like,
they just don't care.
What? You're not at the house. You're not at the house.
They don't care. They don't care.
We might have to do that one for y'all.
Other than that, don't drink a lot of water, because you don't want to be going back and forth to that toilet. The bathroom is horrible. That was scary, by the way. I want to point that out.
Clearly, that was. Did y'all see how excited she got?
I did not like using that restroom.
She clearly was scared. I felt like she thought she she was about to have like a soul plane experience. If y'all haven't seen that, check that out. That's with Kevin Hart. I feel
Can you add that clip as well? Like after this, you gotta add it.
I might be able to see what I can do.
You gotta add that clip.
Clearly, you had a nightmare in the bathroom. Like
that was scary.
Did y'all see how excited she was about this?
I will never drink before boarding a plane. I will never drink on the plane because I do not want to go to the restroom on the plane.
Well, you should though. You should definitely be hydrated because of the altitude. So you want to definitely be hydrated on the plane. But I try not to use the bathroom. I ain't even gonna lie. I rarely have ever, even on long flights, used the restroom on the plane. Just because they're really, really small.
Scary.
They're not the best, but I don't know about scary. What part was scary?
First off, I'm claustrophobic. It's very tiny in there. I don't know if I should flush the toilet or not, because if I flush the toilet, will stuff just start sucking through it? Like, it was like scary, like it was a portal or something. It's me. I didn't like it.
You was in there having a whole panic attack?
I was having a panic attack. I didn't like that. So, bathroom, try to avoid on planes.
So clearly use the restroom before boarding.
Didn't like that.
I would have never thought that was a scary experience for people.
That was probably the most scary of the plane.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. I would have not guessed that to be a scary experience, but to each his own. Yeah. I'm not gonna take that away from you.
You can't.
I'm glad you survived.
I made it.
You made it. Look at you. Gotcha.
Yeah, never again.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to hold that.
So that's good to know. Okay, so from Nate's point of view, don't use the restroom on planes.
Didn't like it.
All right. Anything else that was random that I didn't know had you frightful on the plane? Because I was clearly knocked out, very unaware.
I definitely like window seats.
Okay.
I definitely like the window seats because I want to see what's going on, no matter how scary it is out there. I don't know why. Just being in the window made me have less anxiety than if I was in the middle. That way I can see, and I don't know what seeing what was going on would have made a difference, but it helps me alleviate some of my anxiety.
But I feel you on that, because coming from a flight attendant world and knowing like some of the different things that happen, some with like the different chimes and stuff, I get that, because I prefer window seats for two reasons. One, I like the window seat just because I don't have to worry about excuse me, all of that stuff when people are like her going to the bathroom every 5 minutes.
Don't worry about it. I'm not going.
And the fact that like I prefer window seats almost close to the wing. That way I can kind of see when they're doing maintenance checks and make sure everything's going up and down. Granted, I'm not a flight attendant anymore and I'm not working a flight, but if I personally was to see something, I'll just go ahead and ring the call button, get the flight attendant's attention, and then have her pass that message along just in case if it is something. And granted, they have all of their mechanisms up top to understand if things are going wrong with that, but if for whatever reason they don't catch it, then I can still say something. So I do feel you on the window seat, because I definitely prefer that versus the middle, let alone the aisle. The middle seat is definitely the worst.
So she has this education behind how planes work, obviously, that I didn't know about. So with that information being said, from now on, I know who I'll have on FaceTime checking these planes prior to me boarding them.
Dude, and she, like she told you, she called me at 5 in the morning on FaceTime, standing in TSA, like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? And I'm
5, 10
like,
a.m.
What? I'm asleep.
Don't wake up.
So, all right, well, that is some good information. Any final words you want to share with us?
No, just I'm ready to take our next flight.
That's true. I'm so ready to go. I don't know where we're going yet, but y'all know, as always, I'm definitely gonna bring y'all on the journey. I have enjoyed sitting here sipping and chatting. I ain't tried a red wine, y'all, because she already kind of said it was not that great. So
it's actually comparable to the white wine. I don't know if they're both dry wine, but they seem to be a dry wine.
Yeah, both of them. I'm struggling to drink it, but it's not terrible. It's really not. It's not my favorite, because I am picky. However, it's doable. I can do it. I need a glass of water after because it's definitely dry and making me and my mouth dry. But I ain't take none of my liquor here. Cheers. Cheers to a good show.
Good, valuable information.
Now she gave me that and I ain't had no chaser, y'all. No chaser. But I don't want that. That wine is not gonna, it's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it at all. But it has been fun. I'm so glad that you decided to join me. As always, I definitely want you all to drop some comments below if you have any tips, tricks, or anything like that. Or if there's anything that you want to discuss, drop those comments below so we can try to have those conversations. As always, good people, thank you for joining Sip and Chat. Go out there, create memories that will last a lifetime.